Yeah, like that.
Okay, yeah. Just like that. And then tag us.
Yep. I got you.
Mic check, mic check. No, I can't hear nothing yet. Mic check, mic check. Oh yeah, but it's kind of low. Let me hear you guys.
Mic check, mic check.
I can hear you good.
Hello.
One day that shit was on good. Like everybody was like sitting back here.
Let me hear it.
Mic check, mic check.
Yeah. It's pretty loud. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear
yours
you.
is kind of low though. But let me hear you, Kat.
Hello.
Lift
Yeah, lift yours up. Yours is low. Mic check, mic check. Mine's a little louder now.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, let me hear you again.
You're
Mic check. Hello. Hello.
He sounds better now. But I still want to go a little higher on all of them, kind of.
Mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
That's funny. I seen that.
Mic check, mic
on
check.
TikTok.
Check 1 2.
It
Check,
works.
Like a
check.
little preview, and it was
Now-
like, you can put it anywhere.
Mic check.
Oh, yeah, hers is. Oh, yeah, it's way
Now it's
loud
better.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go a little lower. It's a little loud.
We can sit back
Yeah.
here and you can sit back here.
You
and
can't,
I feel like-
but the problem is it'll catch.
Whose voice is loud?
All of us is loud now. Yeah.
Everybody in the club.
I feel like you hear differently in different headphones because I feel like
Yeah.
I can hear myself loud here. There's a little echo.
Is someone's voice louder than someone?
I think all of them.
Check.
Yeah,
1
they're all
2.
about the same.
Check.
How you doing?
You want to go a little lower? Just a little bit. Let's see how it sounds. My thing is I don't want to catch this stuff outside. People are already on.
Bow.
How about now?
Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, this is cool. I can be up here and talk, so
So good?
yeah, I'm good with it.
Now we're set. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Everybody vibrate on the vibrate. On the vibrate.
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting in 3, 2, 1, live.
And we are live. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and Kick. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be right back with you, Howlers. You already got fans watching, man.
That's cool.
Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
It's Melanie.
Cat baby.
And today we have a very special guest. I'm going to have him introduce himself to our audience. Tell a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Maya Hernandez. I am a cinematographer in the film industry, and I'm a camera tech in the touring industry.
Okay. And how long you been doing that for?
Altogether, I want to say about 15 years.
Okay.
I like hop back and forth from both like positions, I guess you can say. But
Tell us a little bit about the movie that you were working on.
the last one, or the most recent that just dropped, was Horchata with Oat Milk. It was a little indie film and comedy, Latino comedy. So it was pretty fun. That's pretty.
Well, tell us a little bit about like what was your job on that movie?
On that particular movie, I was the director of photography. So I was basically the guy in charge of the look of the filming, the camera. So I was in charge of the look and make sure it looks clean, and nice.
How long does a project like that take?
It depends, and usually depends on budgets. Like each project has different levels. Also, it depends on scripts. So we can have a simple script where we're shooting at a house or shooting at a car wash or something, and you can plan it out. That was an indie film, so we didn't have much money. It was more about the homies like just getting together and using your resources, my resources, their resources, and this
Collabing kind of.
and let's try and bring this together and see if we can create something. And honestly, with the little that we had, it turned out way better than I thought it would.
I was
So.
pleasantly surprised.
Absolutely.
So I was at the premiere, but you said you weren't. You were doing something else?
I am currently on the Shakira tour. I'm working on the Shakira tour. So I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to land the day before, but she ended up extending 2 weeks. So I had to stay and work.
Shakira.
What do you do with her?
Yeah, what do you do with her?
I am part of the camera team on her tour.
So like the tech, you set up the cameras, stages, and all that.
I help set up some of the cameras, but I work more with the engineer.
Okay.
So like the engineering is basically like the guy that So have you ever been to a concert? You see those big racks with monitors and a bunch of like light up keys and stuff.
They're like usually way in the back in the middle,
Yeah.
kind of just overseeing this.
So there's different things that control different parts of the tour. So for example, like the engineer for video controls the LED walls. So when we send a signal from the camera to that wall, there's somebody controlling what you see up there from whatever camera, because there's usually like a lot of cameras, right, on a concert. And also like the graphics that go on those huge walls that people up in the nosebleeds get to see. And
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I help set up that part, like those racks, those machines. I help set up those machines so that we can control, and I help like just basically troubleshoot if the camera, goes down during the show or something. I run out there like, what, I need to fix this, and let's get back on the show.
So, have you always been in photography and videography?
No, to be honest, I wanted to be an animator. I paint and I draw.
Okay.
So I went to art school first. At that time, Pixar was like coming up.
Yeah.
Toy Story was out, Cars, all this. I'm not that big of a. I am more now, but back then I wasn't that much of a computer guy. I like paper and pencil stuff.
Yeah.
Paintbrush and canvas.
Mm.
So I did a year of art school, and I was like, am I studying a ending career? Like, am I studying? There's like layoffs at the Disney animation in Burbank. So I was like, am I studying
Because the transition, you're
Yeah,
saying,
'cause it was
to
trans-
graphic design.
to computer, right? So I was like, am I studying something that's gonna die out in like 5 years?
Yeah.
And then at that point, I didn't know much about photography, but I had bought my own camera, and I just
Oh, nice.
did stuff myself just to try and figure it out.
Yeah.
So I knew I liked it, so I decided to move from animation to cinematography.
Well, let's talk about your animation. So, what kind of animation did you do?
Disney stuff. I love pop art. I love cartoons. I draw a lot of
Okay.
cartoons. And like literally studying to like have you seen like the behind the scenes in like Disney
Yeah,
videos
yeah.
where they'll do
sketches
So
Just
you do the
Mickey?
character.
Yeah, they draw
characters?
Mickey, and then they'll draw it again, and they'll draw it
Yeah.
again. And that's basically what I was learning.
Do you do that on the computer now, or you just do it hand?
I do my own thing. I do like my own canvases, my own paintings, because that's my side thing. That's
Yeah.
not like what's paying my bills.
Well, you're an artist, so I mean, even photography is an art. So it kind of transitions. That's why you're probably so good at transitioning into that, huh?
Absolutely, I'm a highly creative person, like highly artistic person. Like I have to do something creative.
Yeah,
It's-
I get that. Love that.
Is animation something you still want to like go for eventually?
Because they got comic books and all that kind of stuff.
and
you
I
can do
love all
still.
that. I love Marvel.
Yeah, me too.
Not particularly animation, but more canvas art.
Yeah.
I'm big into studying the art scene. Like I go to art shows. I do it. Like I follow a lot of artists. I have tattoos of my favorite artists. Like doing more like a canvas thing where like I just paint a huge canvas of some kind of pop art. Mickey on skulls or something, or like just something pop art, like your shirt, like this, like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sand Wonder.
Sand Wonder,
She's
yeah.
dope, and she's
Exactly.
from LA. Shout out to Sand Wonder.
And she has her own cartoon characters, so
yeah, she
it's more
creates
stuff.
her own stuff.
Exactly, I would do something more in sense like what she's doing. So
Yeah,
We
see,
had a
that's
couple
cool.
people. We had a guy that
Inspired by LA.
We had a guy create his own comic book come on, right? And so he had his own characters, his own comics and stuff like that. Then we had another artist that does canvas art too
yeah.
for paintings and
Well,
things like
that's
that.
the thing. Like, if you want to be in that particular field, if you want to be somewhere, you have to create your own, not only your own signature and style, but maybe your own character.
Yeah.
Especially like if you want to make it a business, like there's merch, there's little toys,
Yeah.
all the
Can't be like
little
everybody
boo
else.
toys
It
are
has to
coming
be
out. right now.
original.
Can't be like
yeah.
can't be like everybody else.
Yeah, but everybody has their own
Way,
character.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
So you're doing big things with Shakira. That's crazy. So how did you even get to that level? Give us your journey on how you even started moving up to that point.
So in LA, doing like the film, LA is a lot of like music videos. So I worked a lot with either being Spanish. I worked a lot with the Mexican labels and like Capitol and other like music labels in Hollywood. Through that,
But how'd you even get into that? Like into those labels? Those are
Like
huge labels.
your big break kind of.
I guess I got lucky right after film school because I went to film school in Hollywood
Okay.
at the Los Angeles Film School. At that time it was like a 1 year certificate. Here's
I
your
think
little
I've heard of that.
Yeah, now they have a bachelor's. I think now you can get more
Yeah.
credits or whatever. But But honestly, yeah, I did it for a year, and then there was a guy that worked at the gear where you rent out all the cameras and stuff in the school, and he hit me up like right before graduating. He hit me up. It's like, hey, you want to go out and work for this music video? They're not going to pay you, but you can get some, it's like network.
Yeah.
It happened to be the clips, a video for the clips, and
Pharrell clips? Or?
yeah,
Oh,
Pharrell's
shit.
clips.
Nice.
And then it happened also to be with Ski TV. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Ski
Yeah,
TV.
yeah.
Dang.
So I got very lucky straight out the bat. I
Damn.
met those people. I met with Matt Alonso, who ended up being like a big time director for Ski TV, and ended up working a lot with Ski TV. So
Nice.
through that,
TV is pretty big.
yeah, I mean, that was like one of many free gigs I went out to do. Like, just hit
Yeah.
me up. All right,
But that was the one that kind of
Got
got
you
your
in.
your placing,
That, yeah.
on the right track.
yeah.
So that was a long time ago. Pharrell and clips. That was back
Yeah.
in the like
15.
two-
I've been doing it
2000s?
15 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
early 2000s.
I want to say that was 2008.
Yeah, before 2010. for
Maybe
sure.
2010, probably more like maybe 2010.
Damn, that's.
How'd you
that's-
feel when you got that like gig though, and you started meeting these people? Was
I
that,
thought I
like-
was on already. I was like, damn, I'm on already straight out the bat. But
Damn.
it wasn't like that. But yeah, that's what I felt like at the time. Like, dang, the clips, okay,
Yeah.
It's like I thought when they hit me up, I thought, oh, some little local rapper or whatever, cool. I already had done some. While I
Pharrell
was in
wasn't
school.
big. He wasn't big yet then. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
with,
he
with
was
his first
big.
song. With his first
At that
song.
point, what 2000?
He was-
It was him in the.
He was
him in the age,
known,
no, he was
but
known.
he's
He
not to the
beats,
level.
nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He-
yeah,
nobody
he
knew
was
him like that.
known. He was absolutely known, but I don't think he was that.
He wasn't who he is now. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't.
Well,
His
speaking
name.
of that, it's kind of cool because throughout my career, I've met and worked with artists that are now huge, and I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of cool.
I was just
They
talking to
weren't there.
someone about that, like knowing where like someone like they're starting and then where they're at now, like to see the transition and the growth in that person or that artist is just it's cool, like to just follow, So
Absolutely, yeah.
Where did you start? Like, I know you do what you do now, but what did you do like before that? What inspired you to do this?
I was in the military.
Okay.
That's why me and Jeff and Echoes World we kind of get along because I was in the military. LV, the director from Horchata with Oatmeal, I was in the Marine Corps, and then I met them like shortly after like getting out of film school, and it's just like a thing, I guess. You connect with like military people right away. Like it doesn't matter
that's dope.
where you are, who you are, what you look like. You're just like, oh, you're ex-military like me. Okay, cool. Like we're
Connect.
it's almost like
Brothers.
it's almost
Yeah.
instant
Family.
connection. It doesn't. I'm not saying that those connections last. Like I'm going to be
Right.
homies or besties with somebody, but it's almost like a
Just have an
instant
understanding.
respect. Yeah.
When you were in the military, did you already know that when you were finished, you were gonna go to film school? Was that always something you dreamed of doing?
I bought my first camera, like professional camera, in Japan when I was in the military. I
That's
have
the best place to get it from.
Yeah.
and actually
now.
Where it's made.
So
Shit,
dreaming
that's where it's
big
made.
while you're over there doing stuff.
and
That's
actually
cool.
it's pretty cool because I still keep in contact with good friends from the military from my platoon. In fact, I just saw him. I was in Vegas last weekend, and that's why I was in Vegas because we planned out.
Nice.
I hadn't seen some of these guys in like 10 years or something like that, but we still keep in contact through social media and stuff like that. And we just planned out a trip to Vegas. They're all from like one's from Kentucky, one's from Texas, one's from Miami. They're all from different parts, so we just like all met up. But the funny thing is, like, I recently found. I also bought my first video camera while I was in the military, and I would walk around my platoon and just videotape
You was a guy
people.
taking
Recording
pictures?
like day of life.
Yeah, recording them like videos and stuff. And I recently found they were in old cassette tapes.
I remember
So
those.
yeah, so I had to go to a spot,
Convert it.
convert it, and and I still have it. I still need to actually find a time to edit these together.
That
but
would be cool.
But I sent like links to to them, and they were like, "Dang, dude, I looked
Nice.
through all that. Times we went to Miami. We're like in our 20s and 21. I got out like 23, so I was still young. We were
Yeah.
all the same age, so we were partying in Miami, or we were out in the desert in Iraq, or I was in Japan, or it's just something of
Something
that.
hella cool.
Yeah.
That sounds
Memories,
cool and dangerous.
How long did you serve?
4 years, just
4
4
years
years.
before?
Yeah, it wasn't for me. It was.
Hey, it's not for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not.
it killed
Especially
my
the
creativity.
Marine. You said Marine, right? So
yeah,
that's
Marine
like
Corps.
That's hardcore.
hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
All in.
You guys are the badasses.
We're the
First
we're,
on the
we're the
line.
dumbasses that go in first.
First one's in, last one's out.
Yeah,
You're the bait.
yeah, exactly.
I
Pretty
actually
much.
went to military school. I graduated from there in high school, and I was like platoon. I was squad leader.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Nice. So
pretty
what
dope.
happened? You didn't wanna...
I didn't want to join. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It was when Bush was like, so
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? I want to live.
Well,
I want to live.
Yeah, it was just one of those decisions. Besides, I kind of like how you know that you're always meant for something else. I wasn't like.
you know what you like. You know
I'm
what you
built
want
like
to
a
do.
soldier. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm built like a
That's why I
soldier.
didn't stay in because it just wasn't like I enjoyed it, but it's not my
Most
life.
Like
people
it
now-
gives you a different level of respect too for people that actually serve and continue to serve long term. You know,
Absolutely.
but like you said,
I
it's
know
not
the
for
hustle
Most
everyone.
people do it now for the benefits instead of like my
Absolutely.
country. Like you know what I mean, a lot of people do it for the benefits in schooling.
Yeah,
'cause, You know what I
absolutely.
mean.
But there's also
nothing wrong
like
with
a
that.
lot
There's
of
nothing wrong with that.
different branches nowadays than just
Yeah.
Army, Marines. There's like a lot of different things to do once you are involved.
Inside.
It's good starting point, I would say, and even like a good career. Like I don't like it's not my lifestyle, but I don't talk negative about it.
Right,
like
right.
because it's still like a good. If you use it in the right way, it's
Right.
still a very positive.
Right.
Well, a lot of
way.
people just party for years before they realize, well, man, maybe I'm gonna start doing some shit right after school. You know what I mean? So I feel like it'd be good things. A lot of for some people just to go straight in the military.
I mean, you can still party in the middle. We
I
still
know,
party.
I'm
I
They
know.
party hard.
Another
They party
country.
hard.
But you still learn discipline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the thing is, a lot of people
It's
just
a
don't have a balance of that shit. Yeah, they don't have discipline. A lot of people.
And I joined a time when I got sent to war. So I grew up fast. Like I grew up super fast.
They you to the wolves.
So I
basically.
turned 20 in Iraq. So
Seen a lot. Did a lot.
yeah.
so you've seen a lot in Iraq.
Not really, because I wasn't a grunt. I wasn't like the frontline person. I was in the back. But my job title or my job description, I basically handled supply. So if the front line needed boots, food, clothes, whatever, I would fill up our trucks and then go to the front line. I'd always be scared of getting ambushed because if you ambush the supply chain, you're hurting them. So I was scared as hell to be ambushed, but knock on wood, thank God, nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
So
So, are you see yourself more as just a photographer or a director or you know what I mean, or a videographer? Like what do you classify as?
I think I'm slowly trying to transition into more of a director. I'm even working on like my own scripts and stuff like that.
Right.
In this industry, you have to have multiple hats,
Yeah,
and it helps to
definitely.
have multiple knowledge. If I've worked with directors that don't know what a size lens is or what this camera does and that camera does, and that's like quality information that is useful. If you can, especially on sets where it's a team.
Details.
Yeah, it's details and it's a team. You have to communicate with other people. I have to communicate with this. Like, hey, I need this like
And
this
understand.
because
Yeah.
exactly because I need it this way.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier to communicate
if
if
you know
we
what you're
both
talking
speak
about.
the same language.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
know
me
what
and Jacob was talking earlier about Sinners, and the director he
I
had
mean?
like
To watch that.
it's good.
That movie's
You
dope.
haven't seen it yet?
I have
That
not.
movie is so
It's-
dope.
I haven't seen it
It's
either.
badass.
Should I go
He
watch
was-
it?
Well, no, don't talk about the movie.
No,
but,
no.
Is it
saying-
in theaters?
So I
or-
was he was saying that he was going over how as far as like IMAX he made it differently like for IMAX and I guess different pixels
Yeah.
where you can see the video in like wide
Yeah, I watched it
or,
in
or,
IMAX.
or this
Yeah,
way
different aspect ratios.
right
so,
and
yeah.
but he was saying it and he knew everything he was like talking about as
Well,
far
Yeah,
as
he
like the
definitely
sizes
did a lot
and
of
stuff.
research
Yeah.
going
Well, speaking
into
of
the
speaking
movie.
of different hats, Ryan Coogler, his story, he
Yeah.
wears different hats. He's a screenwriter, producer, and director.
His wife
So-
even too helped him. I heard something like that.
So he made it that way. Like if you guys know a little bit about his history, him and Michael B. Jordan when they made that first movie, Fruitville Station, I think it was called.
The one in San Francisco. in the
Yeah,
front,
where it's a true story. So that was an independent film, like our independent film. You know, he found ways to find funding, and he wrote a script, got it done, and it got enough of a basis of a fan that he got an agency. He was able to get an agency.
Right.
His agency was connected with Sylvester Stallone, so he had the idea. Hey, go to his agency, get me a meeting with Sylvester. I got this idea for this other character named Creed, and that's how he built the Creed, franchise.
Oh, damn.
So it's like, but he wrote he wrote
I like
the
the
script.
Creed franchise.
Yeah.
That shit
Yeah.
is dope.
He wrote the script. He directed it. He produced it. He put
Nice.
everything together.
Different
He had
hats.
all the
knew-
hats
He
to,
knew how everything.
and that's why he's the boss that he is now because he
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
he knows how to maneuver all that.
So that's what you're trying to get to, that point?
Yeah, and it's like a slow process because these are things you learn over time.
Because you got to learn all the fucking
Yeah.
mechanics on
I don't know how he
Everything.
learned it so fast, but he got
Yeah.
he learned it
Some
like
people are just meant for it, you know.
or just in the right circles too. That helps.
Yeah.
That helps a
Yeah.
lot. You know,
When you're around the
So-
same-
A solid team is important.
absolutely in anything to be honest. But yeah, a solid team. is
Amen to that
solid.
shit.
Yeah, but
So how long was the process for the horchata with oat milk? How long from beginning to end? How long would you say that took?
I would say, I mean, it took a couple years to finally finish it, but to produce it, coordinate it, film it, and then finally set it to the editing stage, I would say a couple months. LV, the director, like just texted me one day because I was already friends with him. He just texted me one day. He's like, "Hey, dude, can you meet with us with me and Jeff? And we just want to talk about something." I was like, "All right, cool." So at that time,
So they brought you on kind
Yeah.
of like the project.
they already had the idea going, and they
okay.
brought me on specifically wanting to be the cameraman for it.
Nice. Okay.
Right? They again teams, right? So
Mm-hmm.
LV would be the director, Jeff would be the producer, and they wanted me as the camera guy. I was like, okay. So I met up with them at the time. LV was working. He's working for the Watch. I think he still works for the Watch, right? Which is like a music recording studio. So we went to that studio. And he just like pitched it to me. He was like, "Dude, we want to make like the Latino version of Friday,
Dude,
but
tell me
modernize it."
that's exactly what I would describe it as. I actually went on the comments and I said, "Dude, it's like a Hispanic
Yeah.
Friday."
No, that was like the thought process. I mean, that got
Spot
you
on.
right away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that quick pitch where like you got it right.
all you
on the
need to
spot.
say.
Yeah,
Say that.
exactly.
Yeah,
The
that's
Latino
all-
version of Friday.
And that's all they needed to say.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm in.
Hooked.
And I was like, okay. Well, I mean, I started asking more questions, but all right. So, like, how are we doing this? How are we funding? What are we doing? And literally, like, we just basically started from scratch. Like, we literally set up another meeting. We had a few other people, like Johnny, who ended up being the screenwriter. We had Soso, another producer. So we had other people just all join in a room at the Watch, and we're like, all right, let's think of characters. Let's think of people. Let's think of
Who's gonna play what?
situations. Let's think of modernized jokes. So that's how we got out. Not saying too much about the movie because go watch it, but that's how we got like the net banger, Duno, and we got like the idea of. I gave him the idea of like the tias. Every Latino family has a tias. They're always talking shit, like at the parties. So we had different characters. We had that one crazy uncle. Every Latino family has that crazy uncle. So we were just, just all right.
Love that.
Concrete was so
Bring in
funny.
more. Bring
Literally on a board, just writing this thing down. Like we got the uncle, we got
Brainstormed
this,
it.
we got
Oh,
just
yeah.
brainstorming. All right, and then now let's figure out what the plot, the situation, what are they going through and stuff. So literally from scratch.
Interesting. Where
took-
can
took 3
you
years.
stream it? If is it out now?
Horchatawithoatmilk.com. It has its own
Okay.
link, and then you
Nice.
can rent it for a few days.
Nice.
So
Okay. Go catch that, guys.
So when you like linked up with them, what was the process? Can you give us a little bit of breakdown of the process of what it take to make that movie though? Because I mean, besides the screen printing, the screenwriting and all that.
So the beginning is a lot of meetings, a lot of like brainstorming, basically, like I was saying. So that was literally the beginning part where we got in a room together. We wrote down these characters. Out of those characters, we just started. All right, well, this character, what kind of person is this character? What are they doing? We literally broke everything down. Once we had like at least a decent script to go with. Now we start looking for what to apply to that script. The script needs what? It needs a location, needs a house. They're a family, so they need a house.
What does it look like?
What does it
kinda,
look like?
yeah.
Where are we gonna shoot this? Is it a Downey location? Is it a Los Feliz location? Is it like the Valley? What?
And do you guys have to get permits when you guys do all that for the locations and when you guys are filming on the streets?
We do, but
I think-
guerrilla warfare allows
Yeah.
us, tells us to that, we figure it out.
Yeah.
That house, we literally just we went down that neighborhood looking for houses, and LV's like, dude, I like this house. It was, we were literally standing in front of it, and we saw like the family come out. They're Latinos. Let's just go talk to them, dude. Come on,
Ask
let's
them.
and literally just ask them.
Wow.
We'll pay. You know, we want to shoot this day, these days, and this days. We'll pay for it, and you know, can we leave our stuff here overnight because we're coming back to shoot there, and we'll pay for your daily rate and stuff. And
Nice.
they're like, yeah, go
Damn.
for it.
And it was
That's
a family home. Like
It was a family
wow.
home. Yeah.
Because the Friday house now they have it all. They have it. It's not well vacant, and then you can take pictures in
Yeah,
front
the
of it.
touristy
It's
place.
touristy,
Yeah,
Pretty
absolutely.
dope. It's
Wow.
Well, a
pretty
lot of
dope.
those
Landmark.
houses are.
Yeah, it's landmark.
The house for Breaking Bad in Albuquerque is also
I heard
a
about that.
spot.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
just a lot of those locations are just like
Mhm.
they turn into that. So.
How do you get funding for something like that? You guys got an investor for that, or how did that work out?
This particular the watch, the recording studio became our investor.
Oh, okay.
But when you do indie film, you're looking for investors anywhere. To be honest, you got a rich friend, or you got like GoFundMe, or you got you look up for like events where it's like filming events where like you might see like companies or people like mic companies, camera companies. You go and hit them up, talk to them. Oh yeah, well you know what? I got this guy who does that for a living. He invests in films or invests in companies or something.
Yeah.
You want to go talk to him, you know? So that you
And you guys already had like some connections for that, and you guys
No.
you didn't.
I mean the watch was basically like
The only
it was
it.
their thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like
Huh.
you try to find that money
Yeah.
where you can, you know? Like
Networking is key.
absolutely.
That's the key to this. It's getting in the right places,
If-
rubbing elbows with the right people.
If you look at movies like big time movies, if you look at Marvel, you're gonna see a bunch of different companies invested in that.
Oh yeah.
It's not just Marvel. Marvel might
Yeah.
have like they're the big name, but it's gonna say associated with so and so, in association with this person. Because there's somebody's gonna pay to finance the film. Somebody's gonna pay for the marketing. Somebody's gonna pay for the theaters. Somebody's gonna pay for the merch. You know, there's different companies. Same in the touring business. It's always different companies. It's always different companies sharing the load of the payment of the budget, and then putting their own to make it all work, and then getting their own rate back. They're getting their own percentage of whatever the funds back. So
Did you know a lot of that before you did this movie, or you kind of had ideas like?
I had ideas, but throughout the years I've
You learned
learned
a
a lot more. Yeah.
Was this your first like major, well, not but indie film project that you've worked on, or have you worked on others?
I've worked on others before. Yeah, I've worked on a lot of indie stuff. This was one of the first ones as a director of photography. I've worked as like a camera assistant and stuff like that, just making my way up. But yeah, I've done some other stuff here and there.
Would you rather the tour life like with the music, or would you rather like the movie side?
Tour life is more constant and during certain levels, maybe more money. But the filming is more passionately for
What
me.
you like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more fulfilling. And if I could get it to a level, like a big level that I would want, then
Nice.
it would just be the film life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any other projects that you got in works right now, or?
Well, right now I'm just on Shakira.
You're on
That's
the
the only
Shakira?
thing.
Well, that's huge, man.
Yeah. That's
Can you
so
tell us
great.
about working with
Yeah.
Beyonce?
I did. Actually,
You
I got
worked with
friends-
B? Oh my god.
in
Oh,
2023 I did the Beyonce Renaissance
Oh
tour.
my god.
Me and
That's
Beyonce just
awesome.
broke up after the year before that. So
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, we can hit up SoFi right now. I'll go talk to her. Sure, we can rekindle. I might have to push
Oh, yeah.
Jay out the way, but we can rekindle. But no, yeah, in
that's
20.
a big project. I mean, for
Absolutely.
the music
I
side.
I was
Damn, you're
super
mixing
stoked
with
when I
the
got
big
it.
dogs, dude. Like you ain't doing little things, man.
Yeah, but there's like the bigger you go, the bigger the
assignment
risk,
is, yeah.
the hustle, the bigger like people think that, and I don't want to sound negative, but people think that you're doing these big things, you made it, you're on top, but no, it's a hustle to stay there. It's a hustle to work those.
Yeah.
It's a hustle like the reasons these are huge projects is because it's a lot of work to put in, a lot of work to do. That's the reason why they're so big. You got to build bigness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm on it. It's cool.
Damn, dude.
Do you keep in contact, or do you like try to like talk to the people who are running the show so you can, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
door?
absolutely. So the director of the video director of Beyonce, he also did Shakira. Sorry. He's now like, I don't even know what his actual title is now, but he's more like a coordinator now. So Beyonce actually just started yesterday for her
first and
Cowboy
second,
Carter at
yeah.
SoFi. I got some of the some of my homies are on that tour. I got
You got
pushed.
tickets? Let's
Well,
go.
I hit him up today actually, but like the director is now a coordinator. So basically, what he does is he just like he just starts it. He puts it together
Yeah.
and then lets
Right.
somebody else handle it. So he put together Shakira, and he put together Beyonce, and he actually because he put together Shakira, I saw him again. You know, got to mingle with him again, and he actually was like, "Hey, you want to come back to Beyonce? Because I think I need you more over there than here."
Nice.
And I was like, "Yeah, I'm down. Let's go."
Oh yeah.
Because
So being able to do that, would you consider yourself like an independent?
yeah, or at the moment I am a
Okay.
freelancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
So
work.
that's how you can move from different gigs and projects and stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, I work for a company, for a touring company, but it's still in the sense of a free. I'm on their payroll, but it's still a sense of a
Got
freelance.
it.
Like
Okay.
I can just I have a contract, but I can be like, I'm gonna go to this job.
So
over here.
if you're under someone like on a contract, how does that work from the work that they give you or you do with them from doing freelance work?
How does it work, or what do you mean?
Like,
Yeah,
can you like if he hired you, would you be able to work for her? Like, is it?
Well, yeah, you're
is-
independent contractor.
I'm
what-
a
what do you mean?
contractor,
He's
so
with
that
them too, though.
so they'll give me dates. Like they want me to work
Like a
this and
schedule
this. Yeah,
kinda?
schedule.
Okay.
If I decide to break that contract, I can. But I mean,
It's not smart though, huh?
Yeah.
because it's bad
you
business.
Running bridges, yeah.
you got to be wise, and if you're gonna do that, you got to be wise on what's gonna benefit you more in the long run. Like if
Are you gonna need them or in
if
the
I
future
am I
or
gonna need
something?
this project or these associates, these networking, or I mean, it sounds kind of cruel to say that, but it's a savage industry. So
Yeah.
especially both industries are brutal. So you have to really maneuver. You got to figure out how to maneuver. That's part of the game. That's how you hustle more. That's how you ball out better. You got to be smart about your moves.
Yeah. Do you get like some contact with them, or you just usually work? 'Cause I've heard some people that work around them, but they're not even allowed to talk to them or anything like that.
It depends.
Depends.
It depends. Relationships kind of like it depends on like you meet somebody and you're just cool with them the
Yeah.
first time.
Naturally.
But then naturally. But then you build a relationship. You have to build relationships with some of these people.
Yeah.
So, because that gives you easier yeses. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey, can you get me on this? Or hey, like,
yeah.
I got somebody else. Or hey, or you just get a call back like, hey, I got this project and I need you specifically for this. So
That's to feel kind of good. I mean, whatever you're doing is right.
absolutely,
working.
You know?
Mhm.
absolutely.
Because you're like, oh, they need me on this shit.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
validation for your hustle.
I
you
mean,
know?
like to hear someone say like, "Oh, I need you on this Beyonce,
Beyonce
tour."
tour
Like,
and
I mean,
shit.
not to downplay Shakira because I love Shakira too,
Yeah.
but like
Well,
the
Beyonce,
level
Beyonce,
of
shit.
status,
Yeah.
is like, wow, it's like a wow factor. I feel like.
Absolutely.
And then it would make
should
you
just-
feel as like,
Yeah, you're proud because like, okay, I guess you don't always feel like your work
all
is
your
being
hard
validated.
work,
Yeah,
right, is noticed
or even like in anything you do, you're trying to like step it up, right? You're trying
Build a
to
brand.
build a brand, build something, or
Mm-hmm.
if that's your what you're trying to do, but you don't always get the feeling of recognition. Like,
Yeah.
but then somebody out of
Right.
nowhere
it
is
just
like,
takes that one little
Yeah.
comment. And it's like, oh damn, like, okay,
damn, this guy, the
I
director,
feel like,
wants me.
like,
Like,
yeah,
all right,
that's good. That's
all right,
awesome.
bro, let's go. Damn.
What about television? Have you gotten into television?
Not too
or would you?
much.
Netflix, Philo, all the new apps that are looking for ideas.
Well, speaking of that, and if you're talking about television, like or streaming, like I would love. I have, like I was saying earlier, I have like script ideas that I need to develop and get going. Yeah, I would love to pitch to Netflix or HBO. I love HBO. All their content is like amazing. If you watch like they have like legendary shows.
Even Amazon.
and-
Sopranos, all
Yeah.
that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, even today now, like
Peacock.
some of if you guys watch the White Lotus,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Righteous
Penguin.
Gemstones, yeah, like there's
Penguin's dope.
Yeah, Penguin was amazing.
I haven't
like,
seen that one, but I heard it's really
Yeah.
good.
It is amazing.
I remember
They
the
haven't
original
made any
movie.
new
That shit was
ones, huh?
crazy.
Penguin, yeah, that shit was dope as hell. Like I love that shit.
Yeah, you don't even realize that Batman's not at all in,
in it.
this.
Yeah, well, they
you
said
don't
the-
need
the
it.
sign at the end of it all.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? No, they didn't need it at all.
That's
It was just
beauty.
basically a mobster movie.
Penguin has a
mobster
big
show.
enough name. Even in the movies, he was big.
Yeah.
He was big in the.
Even if it doesn't, like to have the skill to make it. Like Iron Man was not a big
No,
name
he
in the comic
wasn't
books.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, but now he
He's
is
huge.
Marvel.
He
you know what
is
I mean?
Marvel. Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
He's like the face now.
Has his own
you know
movies.
What I mean?
So your scripts that you are kind of like working on your own, what kind of
what's the
like,
genre?
yeah,
Yeah,
what
what's
kind of
the
side
genre
are you
then?
leaning towards? Like horror, comedy?
Is it superhero shit? I have a feeling it
It
is.
depends.
I have a feeling it is.
Don't
So
tell
my-
me
my-
you're Mexican Tyler
My
Perry.
biggest genres that I love watching are horror, are like ghost movies, are Marvel comic movies, and comedies.
Okay.
So it's kind of difficult to put all three in one, but you can. But I do have like a script idea for each one though.
Oh, okay.
So for each genre, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Horror because it's like the most budget friendly.
Yeah.
You can probably,
You think
save
horror is budget friendly?
Absolutely.
Really?
Have you seen Paranormal Activity?
I love
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
outside. Yeah.
Do you know? Do you know
like-
how big of a brand that is in dollars?
No.
It's in the billions.
Oh wow.
Do you know how much the first movie cost to make?
Minimal.
15,000.
Oh.
They're
shit.
mostly like cams, like.
Well,
you know?
yeah. I mean, I feel like it was kind of that type of horror. Yeah.
It wasn't
but
like a whole bunch of weird scenes in different
But-
locations. It
But
was just like
that
depends
is
on how deep you get
no.
into the horror, right?
it.
The-
Literally was the
Horror's
director.
anyways good.
The director bought his own little like Sony camera.
Yeah.
He paid those two actors $500 a day, which was only 2 days because he recorded everything in 2 days and then 1 weekend.
Wow.
And that was his
Damn.
house in San Diego.
Oh my god. So he saved
they were
on,
running around and shit,
on the
like-
location.
And then
saved-
he put like the 15 grand into
Editing?
the editing and the graphics. It was minor graphics, like the ending where like the guy just zips out or whatever. So yeah, he put the money into that, which he did himself too, because he's also an editor, and it's $1 billion business.
Dang,
It's
that's
a franchise.
amazing.
We should probably talk because I gotta. I don't say this a lot, but like,
he's a nerd.
I got a book, the graphic novel book that I've been working on for a long time. It's a
Yeah.
comic book,
Oh really?
and I have like the drawings done and shit. Like this dude from New York. I got like real legit people from Marvel that are doing the drawing and the coloring, lettering, all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like it's basically on the colored part right now. So,
Yeah.
but it's
absolutely.
wild. It's like superhero horror shit.
Yeah.
So I'd have to show you that shit.
There was that other movie
Can you
that
guys
Michael
say
B.
horror
Jordan.
on TV?
Horror. Like I said, horror in
Horror.
every way.
Horror.
Horror is good anyway, right?
Funny.
Horror.
Oh, I grew up on like watching my parents, Latino parents. They didn't care. They let you watch Freddy Krueger and Jason.
Yeah.
And then those
Shit.
had the style where
The
like the
Ouija
girl,
board.
the dumb girls go get killed, but they're so hot. And
always
stuff,
do.
you know?
But
Always
see,
do.
what-
They always die first.
Yeah.
Always
what
die
I was
first. Don't
thinking,
have
like-
sex
Trapped in the shower
Whoever's having
or
sex
the
in the-
Yeah, exactly. They're always in the shower, and that's how they
or,
get.
or having sex.
Whoever has
Yeah.
sex in the movie is gonna die.
Yeah, whoever has sex is gonna die.
It's law.
for sure.
I'm not going down that basement.
The black guy dies first usually. so-
Usually, I'm mixed though, so I'm good. I'm half of the movie at least.
So Echo's World wants us to ask you,
He's
what's
saying
Hell's
hi on here
Unit?
too.
Yeah.
No, tell me what's up. I haven't seen him in a while, man.
He said,
Okay.
what's Hell Unit?
So Hell Unit. So me and him a couple years back worked on this TV show in Vegas, and it was a Chinese show. So they aired it in China. Half of the crew was Chinese, half of the crew was American. So they had 2 units. They had 2 units of 4 cameras each. The A unit was like the unit that would do all the dialogue. They would do they would shoot the main characters inside the house talking about something. It was a drama. It was like a crime drama. It was about like this Chinese super cop that got sent to Vegas because some terrorists kidnapped these Chinese tourists. So like the cop has to go find them and stuff and save them and stuff. So they had the first unit, the main unit, were shooting all of their dialogue indoors and all nice. Then they had me and Jeff, our unit. We were outside in like the summer in 123 degree weather, but we were shooting the badass stuff. We were shooting like the the shootouts. We were shooting
Action
out, the
stuff.
action stuff, but we were just under the heat. We were under the temperature. We were just in, so we were the shit unit. We were the ones doing the dirty work. So we ended up calling ourselves Hell Unit. And at the end of that, it was like a 5-month shoot. At the end of that shoot, we all ended up getting tatted on each other on this Hell Unit.
Where do you have
I
it
have it
tatted?
on twice. I have it right here.
He said
Hell Unit.
twice.
Yeah, and then I have it on my girl right here. She has hell. You can't see that much.
I'm
She
just
has
kidding.
Hell Unit right there on her little belly.
Don't show me that.
It's a good name though. It's catchy. I thought it was gonna be like a project or something you guys are working
name of a
on.
good
I
movie.
was-
yeah.
I was
Maybe name
like,
of a
it's.
good-
I'm
should make a movie,
interested,
Hell Unit.
yeah.
A good army
Okay.
movie.
You know what?
I
though?
would.
A marine movie.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, I did a photo shoot.
We get 10% for that idea.
Damn,
on
we gotta
here.
negotiate 10. Dang, hold on.
I actually did a photo shoot last summer, and it was hot as
In Vegas?
outside. No, it was
Out
it
here?
was in like by the Air Force Base with all the tagging. I don't know where that's.
Oh, Edwards? Edwards up in the.
The old base.
Where is it?
Marina Valley
Yeah.
or Paris.
It's like Paris, yes.
Paris.
It was hot.
Yeah,
It
we
was
were
super hot.
we were doing stuff like that every day on that shoot because we were shooting in the summertime
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Oh shit,
So,
that's
yeah.
a different type of heat.
Exactly. We had sandstorms. We had to stop shooting one day because there was a sandstorm coming in and just like stopped all production because we had to cover our cameras or it would be full of sand.
I've never done it in the heat. I did do
I
telemundo.
know, what?
I've like filmed in
man.
the heat.
Film what?
Hey, calm down. Oh my god! I can't with you guys.
What do you mean?
Hey,
Anyway,
you gotta watch what you say.
but
How's
I
over bad?
did do a
You're missing
shoot.
out.
Calories.
All that sweatiness. You know what I'm
Calories.
saying?
Oh gosh, let her
I don't know
talk.
what's better in the hot or the cold. Like
Oh, the
you know,
squishy.
Cold, yeah.
Cold.
Squishiness.
But when you're like half dressed, you have like a crop
Half
top,
dressed?
shorts, super
Girl,
short.
everything shrinks when you're.
Wait, what are we
so
talking
hot.
about right now?
I know.
Like,
What are we-
Filming.
I mean, what? No,
Just
like,
anything
I,
like
I think filming in the cold
I'm
is
still
better.
confused.
as
What is
fuck.
you talking?
But
you know what she's talking
because-
about?
Filming
Don't
squishiness.
listen to them. No,
Hey,
don't
So what was
listen to
the
them.
original question?
Yeah, what was the original
No,
question?
I was piggybacking off of what he was saying about
It's
Hell
because you
Unit.
guys are cochinos and you guys didn't let her finish her
Yeah.
thought.
Golly.
Jesus.
Never mind.
Actually,
I'm just gonna
I'm
say
not
No,
gonna
that.
we want to know.
I
We,
joined
we
in
still
on
want
that
to
a
know.
little.
We still want to know. You know what I mean? Like, bring it back
Never
up.
mind.
Wait,
It's
what?
over.
So, do you prefer filming in the cold or the hot? Right? That was the question.
I think if I had to choose, it would be the heat.
Really?
You can't. I've done both. I've shot
You
like
shaking and shivering and shit?
documentaries and up in the snow and the mountains and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I can't even do nothing. I'm like frozen, and cameras are metal. So like, especially if you have a case or
Colder.
there's metal things on it. So I'm wearing gloves and I can't even hold it because it's like freezing my hand. So yeah, I'd rather take sweat than cold, to
Cold.
be honest.
What's next for you? What do you see like in the next 5 years or so? What do you see is next for you?
I want to be more independent for myself. Develop these scripts and find ways to hopefully get them done, or just I also have like show ideas. Maybe develop something like that. Both of these careers, like filming and the touring industry, you can have a career as a crew member for longevity for a good amount. And if that's fulfilling for you, cool. But I feel like I would need a little more. I feel like
Yeah,
I want-
comfort zones aren't
Yeah,
all
the-
it's cracked up to be.
So would you do
know?
like? So like, would you like do like some like MTV shit like Teen Mom? Like I heard like, the crew has been there since like for over 20 years, like the same crew.
yeah.
Like type
I
shit.
love
Would I
Teen
do something
Mom.
like that?
I still watch it.
Like would you do something like that, or for that long, or would you just do it just to get your foot in and then like leave?
I don't think I would be there that long. Like I mean, if it's pay my bills, I'll be there. But until I'm able to
Do what
hop
you wanna
myself,
do.
and do something for myself. I mean, like I love what I do, but if in my perfect world, that would never work.
Yeah.
I would be at home painting, or I'd be at home creating
Yeah.
my own movie or something. You
Remember,
know.
Teens are what makes the dream work, right? 'Cause
Absolutely.
you're like one man and you can be where they're calling you, but you can't be like multiple places at once.
But I'd rather be the leader of that one.
for sure,
team.
for sure.
You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
So-
It's your vision.
Yeah, exactly. I would rather have, even if my vision doesn't work out, if I have a movie that just flatlines and doesn't sell, but at least it's still like a a fulfilling thing to be like, yo, I created that. I mean, you know what I mean?
Is there like a specific that you would be able to like give us a little bit, like talk about a little bit of something you want to work on? Would you be able to give any type of information of what?
What do you mean that I want to work
Yeah,
on?
like a script that you have.
Oh, of my own?
Yeah,
I can give you like the concept. I mean,
the concept. Yeah.
yeah, I can give you like the concepts. I'm Salvadorian. I'm Central American. I was born in El Salvador. My parents, migrated over. My mother lived in Mexico for like 2 or 3 years before finally making it back here. I'm high because growing up in LA, I'm highly involved in the Mexican community, even though I'm Latino, not Chicano, but I'm still highly involved in that community, and I got a love for it. So I always had the idea, and this is going back to my own parents' story of creating like a Latino drama, like a
A novella type thing.
I wouldn't say novela. If you watch Narcos, something in that sense, but not fully like drug cartel. My family's not drug cartel, but my mother. I've never met my grandfathers because my mother's father got killed when when she was 7 years old. The reason that I'm told is that he was murdered for his land. So supposedly my family, my mother would have been rich, and I would have been rich in El Salvador.
Damn.
But we didn't. Yeah. So he got murdered for his land. So to me, that just sounds like a beginning of a dope
story?
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, dope. Not even a movie. I want
show?
to say a series, a show.
So like Narcos mixed with George Lopez.
Maybe.
Fight,
Yeah.
fight over land type
Yeah.
shit. Like you've seen that show 1923, that fighting over land.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Yellowstone,
That's all
Latino
land.
Yellowstone,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one concept that I've always thought, and I've actually I just haven't had time. I've been meaning to like dig into my mom's brain, like, hey mom, like, all right, so after that happened, what happened after that, or what's this and that,
Yeah.
My grandma, rest in peace, she's already gone, but my mom, I can still, or some of my aunts, like, hey, I want to know a little
Pick your
more.
brain,
Yeah, I
huh?
want to pick your brain, know a little more what,
Huh.
all this and stuff. And now, El Salvador. So just a little history on El Salvador for people that don't know. In the 80s, a lot of people left that country because we were in a civil war for 12 years. So rebels were killing military. Government was literally grabbing kids at, I can't remember what age. I think it was 12. As soon as you turn 12, they put you in the military.
Damn,
You're
12
forced.
years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. So there's a famous movie from the 90s called Voces Inocentes. And it's a Salvadorian screenwriter and director.
I watched that one.
Yeah, it's a very for us. It's a very legendary movie because it's about two boys going through that. Like, two homies, they're best friends, but as soon as they turn 12, one goes to the government as the military, and the other one goes to the rebel family, and they end up having to shoot each other.
Oh man,
Damn.
that's crazy.
So now that was our history in the 80s and 90s. Now our history has completely changed to this new president. So I love, like, for example, going back to the comic book stuff. If you watch The Boys,
Yeah.
I love how they have history in that, but they also involve like modernized politics. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you watch the show, you understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
that
what
show's
I'm
dope.
talking about. So I would love to write something in that sense where, like,
That's
okay,
dope.
you see the politics of back then, how and then now you're seeing the modernized politics of what's going on. So I want a show that jumps back to storylines and also jumps back to characters. I want, like, my mother being like one character, her father dies, and then now she's traumatized and going through stuff in the 80s, and now you follow this other kid who's like going through stuff in LA, and then somehow you figure out, oh, they're connected. So I love stuff like that where, like, oh, dang, this is connected to that. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a movie like that. It was like Colored or something like that, where like all the stories connected. The police. with
Amores
the-
Perros?
Rush.
Or Rush. Rush was another.
Rush.
Rush.
Yes.
That's what it was. So, it will be a scene from this guy
Yeah.
waking up in the morning, and then he ended
Yeah, that
up
movie
meeting
was
up with the
crazy.
guy at the end of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
that,
same,
that
same,
whole concept.
same
kept me
idea.
intrigued.
But I want to do it in a longer sense, so that's why I want to do it as a series. Rush is like a 2-hour movie. So
Movie,
you
yeah.
so you kind of got to put everything together fast.
It's kind of like that too. Like,
Yeah.
like it's all these stories all over the place, and they connect at the end.
Yeah, like a 10-episode series where
Yeah.
like, okay, I see how that connected,
I like those shows the best because they keep you so interested that you cannot miss the next. And then
They
you're
make
like,
you
"Shh,
binge watch
shh,
them.
don't,
Yeah,
don't
that's what I'm
bother me. I'm
saying.
gonna miss something. Like you're
Absolutely.
just
That's
so
the goal.
into
I
it.
want you to binge watch and then I want you to go back months later and binge watch it
Oh,
again.
again.
Yeah, like what did
Yeah.
I miss?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, because every time you watch a show, sometimes you have a background noise, but you're like sitting there watching, and then you're like, oh wait, when you watch it again, you're like, oh man, I missed that part. How did I miss that? And
Yeah.
it's like you see something different
It's
each
cool.
time
The
you watch
Easter
it.
eggs later.
Yeah.
What was your show that like had you like hooked on the TV, like you couldn't leave the house?
Recently or when?
Just period.
I have a lot of shows. Right now I'm watching The Last of Us, which is
Ooh,
dope.
I have that on
the
my watch
Penguin,
list.
I was on that all the time. The White Lotus, which just ended, which I love that show. And
I never
then
watched that one. That's
It's
actually-
it's amazing. It's great. It's more of a character based show, which that's what I like to do. I like more character based stuff, and then we'll involve situations that they go through. But it's still like you follow this character, but then you also hate this character, but you also love this character. And then Righteous Gemstones. If you like comedy, like that show is hilarious. And
I'm gonna have to watch.
Righteous Gemstones is great. it's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, I have a bunch of like Narcos is also one of my favorites ones. Like everything they
That's
they
one
did
of
on
the
there.
spinoffs of Narcos.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I love all those spin-offs. Like they really did a great job in all that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think I watched all of them except the one when they go to Mexico.
the last,
I think
one of the last ones.
Yeah,
Mexico has 2
I
seasons.
started. I think I started the first one. I didn't finish it though.
Yeah,
But I like the whole Narcos
Yeah.
series. It's
What
really
did
good.
Speaking of Narcos, what did you think about Snowfall?
I never finished it, but I
Snowfall's-
started it off and it
Snowfall's
was like,
amazing.
yeah,
I don't know what that is.
It's
You know, you have-
it's dope as hell. It's like almost like the
FX,
Narcos.
yeah. But it was with the black community and it's in Compton. He was in
About
Compton,
the
right?
about when the crack hit LA. But
Yeah.
it was funded by the
That's
government.
why they call it Snowfall too. That's great. That
Yeah,
is a
it's
cool
called
name
Snowfall.
though for it. You know what I mean?
And then
because he was in the jet. He would always fly back and get the
and then
drugs.
I love the twist
Yeah,
that
so
it's the
that-
black community, but they're getting their shit from the Italians.
Right.
So
Kind of like Harlem. That sounds like Harlem.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, or Frank Lucas.
Frank
yeah.
Lucas.
yeah.
That movie's dope.
So and I love those twists. Like I love like that just builds more character more.
What's your top 5 or top 3 movies that you can just?
That's hard, dude. That's hard. I want to say Bram Stoker's Dracula for me is up there with Winona Ryder and Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman's
Yeah.
badass. Like he's an amazing actor. I want to say that's up there. Dang, that's hard. There's so many like
What
quality.
genres then? Top 3 horror movies.
Top 3. I mean, Bram Stoker's Dracula would be one. Absolutely.
Favorite horror movie.
The Conjuring. I love all the Conjuring stuff. I love ghost stuff. So I don't like
I
gory
hate
horror.
scary movies.
I don't like gore horror. I like more
Saw,
like
that shit's crazy.
Oh, Saw's a good one.
Sounds like more like gory. Like,
That's
Yeah.
it's not even
more-
scary.
I like
it's just
Final
it's
Destination,
nasty.
even though it's not necessarily.
The new one's coming out, and I think the new one's coming out in like July or something like that.
The
new
Final
one?
Destination,
The new
yeah.
one, yeah.
It's,
Yeah, that
it's
looks
the
dope.
little things.
I like more ghost stuff because I feel like it's more real.
Real.
Yeah.
Like
I don't like the horror movies where the kids are possessed. Like for me, like
I like
it-
that.
I can't. I have to say a prayer
Fuck
before I go
them
to
kids.
sleep.
I will
I'm like,
forward
Well,
the chanting.
I like those because that scares me more, so I feel it more.
Yeah, no,
because I'm not
mm.
a slasher guy like gutting some dude. Like
Like
it's not real to
like
me.
Mine,
Jump
mine growing up was
scares.
Candyman.
Yeah,
the bathroom in
Candyman,
the mirror,
yeah.
like because it was real. Because you go to the mirror.
Absolutely.
Shit, I can do it. Like what?
La Llorona. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
all,
I can't.
all the scary movies took place in the bathroom. Then you wonder why, as a kid, you didn't want to go take a shower.
Turn that light on.
That's why y'all was
Leave the
peeing in
door
the bed.
open.
That's why y'all was peeing in the bed.
Actually, no, but I would have to leave like the door open when I was showering because like we watched things like the Ouija board that also taught me never to play it.
Yeah.
But
do
you
that
know,
shit.
she gets trapped in the shower and the water goes.
But you
completely
tried it though,
hot.
huh?
No, I was scared.
As a
played the
kid, I
Ouija
tried the
board?
Candyman stuff.
no,
As a
I
kid,
would
yeah.
never
Yeah, I
get
did
I
it.
tried it.
I did it.
My friends did it.
Yeah.
My mom warned me against
I'm
that.
too scared about this.
And then any little creak in the house, like, oh dang. what-
Right. You
Yeah.
heard everything that night.
Favorite comedy?
Favorite comedy, Nacho Libre.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
shit's
good.
I
hilarious.
love
That's a
that.
good one.
I love that corny comedy, like the corny
Oh,
little
yeah.
nerdy stuff.
Like Step Brothers. That shit was
Step Brothers
dope
is
as fuck.
amazing. I love that.
Oh
the
yeah,
top
with the
one.
balls on
Wedding
the
Crashers.
drum.
Wedding
Oh
Crashers.
yeah, I love Ready Question.
Son of a bitch.
Will Ferrell, anything Will Ferrell or
Yeah.
Adam
Boats
Sandler,
and hoes.
I love watching that.
I love Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
He's good.
What about your favorite Latino or Chicano film?
Amores Perros is probably up there.
That one's kind of dirty though.
Kind of what?
Dirty.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's,
Hold on, say that one more
Say that.
time.
It's because it's dirty. It's because
Well-
that one girl, this
We need to
one
clip- we
girl,
need to
she
clip
takes
that.
on the
We gotta
two
clip that
dudes.
shit.
oh no, that's a different movie. That's Y Tu Mama También.
Oh, okay. It was one
Same
of those.
same actors and same director, but not the same movie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
they're like foreign films, so they're like risque.
So actually, the it's if I'm correct, I hope Inurato. Damn, I can't remember his whole name. That director is the same director that directed Leonardo DiCaprio in the Revenant.
Okay.
Oh, that shit is one
And
of the
same-
best movies
Yeah,
ever. The
and
Revenant.
and the same
Shit's badass.
cinematographer. So that cinematographer, that camera guy, he's
Moving on
Mexican.
up.
He's
No
Mexican,
shit.
and he's the only cameraman in the industry that has 3 Oscars back to back.
Nice.
For
And we were just talking about this when we said that some of the most important jobs are carried on the background. You know,
absolutely.
like involves
Yeah,
zero
it's
clout.
It's all
involves
it's all
no
about
type of fame,
the base.
no
If the
credit
base
given.
Yeah.
if the base isn't right, if it, you know what I mean, like the from the
won't-
ground
it
up,
won't work.
it's not gonna work.
The
what
foundation,
other
yeah.
movies did he do? You said The Revenant and which other ones? Because now I want to see, make sure I see.
Well, you
it.
got to watch Amores Perros. That is a classic movie, and it's a very intriguing. It's all about dogs, but it's like these characters that own dogs, and their lives are intertwined, but into
Oh,
like
I get what.
it's in Mexico. It's shot in Mexico. It's all Mexican actors, but it's like shot in the slums. Think of what's that one Brazilian movie about the slums? Fuck, I can't think of
I would
that.
say, not shot us. I would say not shot us.
No, something God, the land of God. No, you guys know what I'm
Gods.
talking about? It's like a Brazilian. It's a foreign Brazilian movie. But they
About gangsters.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
gangsters, but kids turning into gangsters in like the slums of the Rio. It's almost similar to that in the
Okay.
fact that they're in like the slums of Mexico, and these characters are all intertwining by their dogs.
Yeah.
So,
crazy.
but it has like interesting plot twists. It has drama. It has action.
Where's that streaming, or how do you watch that? What?
It's an old movie. It came out in like the 90s.
Maybe YouTube, just because
You
it's that
think
old.
so?
Yeah, you might be able to, and actually you can pay for YouTube now to watch movies.
Yeah,
so
YouTube TV.
Yeah, you can. You could probably
Red
for
TV.
sure get it on. Yeah, Amores Perros, and then he also did another legendary movie called Tu Mama También, which was about 2
I've
guys,
heard
one
of
girl.
both of them.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Two guys, one girl?
Yeah. She took on both of them like a champ.
Wait, what?
Damn.
Yeah,
I was like this.
Hold on. What?
She was like this. You mean? She meant.
I was like,
but those
what is she doing?
the guys are now 2
You're all
legendary.
taking
Mexican
notes.
I'm like,
actors,
how are
so
they?
Oh really?
You
They were
took
what?
notes?
They were what?
Let me
They're
collect
2
myself.
legendary Mexican actors now.
Okay.
It's the actor for the show Andor on.
Yeah. That show's dope.
Yeah, he's on Tu Mama
Oh,
También
okay.
as a
I've
young
probably
guy.
seen it
Yeah,
because I've seen a bunch of movies he's in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
crazy.
then you said there's another guy that's pretty
Um,
up there now.
Yeah, I can't think of their names right now. I have to look them up. The other guy was also in a Marvel thing recently.
Oh, he played Falcon, the new Falcon, or no?
No.
He said it's called the City of Gods.
City of God. Yeah, that's what I was talking
Shout
about.
out
Thank
to
you.
shout out to who? What's the name?
Bunny's stream.
Can't see me zoom in for you.
Oh, Bunny Stream.
City of God. Yeah.
Oh, Bunny Stream. Shout out to Bunny Stream.
That's
She's
another
she's on Meta with me. How you doing? Shout out to Bunny Stream.
Yeah, that's another legendary movie. Yeah, City of God.
So it's like watch Shatas. Shatas is the same thing, but it's not Brazilian. It's like I think like in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Kids doing running around with guns and all that stuff. It's called
Well,
Shatas.
Yeah, that's what I like. Those are the stories that I like to see. You know, like
Have
you're
you
in
watched the
slums.
movie Mi Familia?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one of my faves.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
It just talks about how when this was still Mexico, California was still Mexico.
Yeah,
And,
and
like-
Jennifer Lopez is on there.
Yeah,
That's when she was good.
Have you
Not
always
what
wanted to
she's-
be in film?
That's how
Have
you
you,
really feel.
have you always wanted to be in film?
I wouldn't say as a youngster that I would say that I wanted to be in film because I always drew, so I wanted to draw. I wanted to
Yeah.
do that. I want to say now that in my adult life, like I've learned to love it, and this is me. This is my life now. So
Yeah.
This is yeah.
Wait,
That's so cool.
Let's go back.
Yeah.
You just talking about my wife. You was like when Jennifer Lopez was good.
Uh,
Like, I want
My
to hear
wife,
this.
he said.
I want to hear this. Like you think she fell off?
So
No, she just.
I would say she's taking on easier roles nowadays. Like before, like Enough. Like that was a dope. Like that role. She did good on that. She
I'm
did
a
good on
little
that.
biased because
Yeah.
like some of these celebrities that I probably talk shit about is because I work with them and I don't like them no more.
So you
I
worked
hear
with
that
her.
a
You worked with her-
lot.
You worked with her then?
Yeah.
That's how I
Because
feel about him.
I heard
well,
she's a
you get to know him, the
That
attitudes
was
and everything.
corny.
Some people,
Yeah, but
I get it.
at
I
the
get
same
it.
time, I don't want to destroy nobody's like
Right.
fantasy about
Fuck
it. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
No. I mean, but it's
You know what I mean?
but I've heard the same
Yeah.
thing with musicians.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
destroyed
Yeah.
my fantasy about her or whatever.
Yeah.
Like my thoughts
Yeah.
about
What
her.
kind of
but-
fantasy?
Definitely.
Did you have a better?
Know his fantasy?
Hi, Jacob.
Guys,
Nah, I don't have
take
no
y'all
more.
nowhere.
How
all
about the
cooked.
fact though? How about the fact though that she used to date Diddy and she's been through some shit and she just wants to take.
She
him
got
back.
diddied for sure.
Well, everybody.
A background because they. You know?
Choo.
Well, that to me, that's not that's the savageness of this industry. I've seen it many
Yeah.
times that they're just at another level of it, you know. But as soon as somebody gets in trouble, everybody scatters.
Yeah.
That's just this industry
yeah.
how it is.
Shit,
I
people
feel like
were
that's
moving
in
out of their
general.
country during that shit. People were moving out of the country.
He tried to move out of the
They were
country.
gone.
They caught his ass on the plane.
Yeah.
Or going to his plane.
That's
trying to
crazy
move out.
how his house burned down though
It did.
For now, when?
when all the fires happened.
Oh, you serious? I
You
didn't
did
hear
it.
that.
Huh?
No,
She did it.
No, they probably
She
had
burned
that
it.
shit. That's probably why the fires happened.
Everything.
Shit.
That's what I'm
house burned down?
saying.
I guess I
His
didn't even
house
know.
was amongst all the houses that
All
got
the
burned
evidence
down.
gone,
All the
you know what I'm
evidence
saying?
is gone.
I've been
whatever they
to
have,
his
they
house.
have.
It was funny. I was making jokes because when they raided the house in Beverly Hills or Bel Air,
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn, dude, I took a shit there in the bathroom." I didn't know he was
Good
recording
thing
me.
That was the only thing.
Now I'm on the Fed's tapes.
Double-sided
Who knows what he was
mirror.
doing when he was watching those
Yeah.
tapes?
Double-sided mirror.
There's
for sure.
things-
Feds are looking. Who's this guy? Like, damn, now they're gonna look into me.
There's people that went in there and had things go in there, but let's
No,
just be
no,
glad that
nothing
things
of
are
that
going
happened. I
out
just-
of yours.
It was all
He was
exit.
in and out.
Yeah, it was all exit,
Literally.
and I had to go.
Actually, my kids were telling me about it today. They're all into like YouTube, and they were saying that
All the gossip on
Rihanna,
it.
that the I'm friends with the monsters that's under my bed. That they were saying that Diddy had like an underground like route to her house.
Oh, and
that,
that song's about him.
and that Eminem stuck up for her and was like, "Hey, if you come back again," and it was the one that he made, the song that he made with Rihanna. That they were saying like, if you come after her, we're all like Dre, 50 Cent, everybody was gonna go after him, and that's what those songs
I slightly believe a
represent.
lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I
because-
do too.
I was gonna
because
ask you,
she's
so-
blessed.
So what do you think about the situation? You met him? Like, how was he when you met him?
I worked with
Any
him. I had a
weirdness?
homie who was his like BTS guy for a while too.
That's behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes guy.
Thanks for that, Rico.
So I worked with him on a few. I worked on.
He got y'all, guys. He got
I worked on him on like a little. I've never even seen this, but it was like a documentary about his life or something. I never. I
Did
don't
he?
think. I think
the puffy.
the
Yeah, it's on
puppy.
Net-
But
it's
this
on
was years
Netflix.
ago. This was like.
They have a new one on Netflix. Right
Yeah. This was years ago that we were working on. So what happened was I ended up. We went to a camera team. Went to his house, to that house. Early in the morning before he even got up.
Got your
We
ass,
recorded. Nah,
Nice.
we this was right after Kim died, actually.
Oh shit! His wife. They say he
yeah.
sacrificed. They say that she died because
Well, looking
she was gonna tell him. Or
yeah,
something like that.
looking
Her
back
blood.
on it, it tripped me out because like our security lets us in. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. He's still asleep. Security lets us in, and they put us in the room, and then there's like a room right there, and they're like, all right, just put your stuff in there, just put your camera stuff in there, wait, and then he's gonna come down in a minute. All right, cool. So we put our stuff in there, and then all of Kim's portraits were just laying on the floor, like leaning against the wall, and I'm like, wait, this dude's wife just passed away. No, well, ex-wife, right? Because they weren't married at the time. But like, he's a mother to his kids, and he, like, that's what I thought at that
That's
moment.
shady as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
definitely something happened.
But I didn't think. I just thought like, damn, that's kind of whack that you got her portraits on the floor. But that was it. That was my last thought of it. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then now thinking back, like, damn, wait a minute, hold on.
That boy had he did no shame in his game when he
Yeah.
did shit. Like, that's just
Well,
wild.
that's what happened when you get that much power. Shit.
Do you feel lucky that you weren't invited to the Diddy parties?
What if he told you to record a bunch of crazy shit?
An actor. What's
I've been to
what's-
some parties, but
What's his name is coming out with a whole bunch of shit.
Hey, no Diddy, man. No Diddy.
what's his name? Was it Terrence Howard, the guy from
Oh,
Hustle and Flow?
yeah.
He's coming out with. He said
I
that.
saw he said he wanted to fuck him.
Yeah, his assistant was like, he trying
He
to fuck
did an
you.
interview. Like,
What'd he say?
Yeah.
What did
He
he say?
said Diddy was trying to fuck him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
he
yeah.
was not having it. He was not having it.
Like I
Nah,
and
I was
everything.
like, nah, fuck
He's
that.
like, he was in the music studio and everything.
I have another story, and I don't know if any of this is true or not, but again, back in the day, I was working with this one producer, and that producer used to work for Diddy, and now he was a producer for Ski TV. So we were doing a shoot for Ski TV in Miami one time, and then we finished, and we went to dinner, and we're just chilling, just eating, drinking, and just having conversation. And he starts telling me like, yo, yeah, dude, he was at a Diddy party because he worked for Diddy at the time, and this was when like Kevin Hart was like barely coming up. He wasn't that well known, but Kevin Hart was there too. And his story was like, yeah, Diddy was like had his arms around Kevin, and he was just like a little too touchy with Kevin. Kevin was like, no, get the fuck out.
Oh, he
Kevin was
was?
not having it. Like, no,
no
hold on,
shit.
bro. And then
I am a boy, Damien.
I am a boy. I am a man.
but this was like back in the day when there was no like you wouldn't see or you hear any stories out publicly about like Diddy
But they would
being
hide
gay.
that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, or liking men or just you knew
Well,
about
it
Diddy
was all-
parties.
yeah, but it was all like kind of quiet. You didn't
Yeah.
really know anything about it
So my
until now.
Yeah,
you
so my
know?
friend was saying like, oh yeah, I think Diddy's into men now because he's just had so many women, so he just want to try some.
Got
new ones.
bored.
That's crazy.
Like,
The fuck?
and I'm like,
to have just say that like he's had so many women. He probably has, but
Yeah.
like
Just have more.
that's
Fuck.
crazy.
I know
Just
exactly.
to
Like,
go,
why? Why? I'm not gonna get bored. Like, why? Yeah.
High key, I think he probably was
Line 'em
always
up.
gay. Y por eso no tenía llenadero.
Absolutely.
That's why he would not get satisfied. He just did not.
But in the hip hop
with
world,
women.
especially in the '90s, being
can't
gay
show
is
it.
Oh yeah,
not.
it was
Can't show it.
definitely.
It's not part of the
Yeah.
marketing plan. It's not
And
part of that.
culture
The
either,
image. So
It was
yeah.
It was the
Shit is still. I don't care what anybody says. They ain't gonna flip
The
my
download.
mind with that shit.
yeah. I'll enjoy me a woman now. Till the day I die, I'm good. Yeah.
freaking Diddy.
Thank you for the
Damn.
stories. Shit.
I know. So we like went way over, but any last things you want to say to the audience about anything? Shout out
Any
to your
advice
Instagram,
to
whatever.
give someone that's
Last
interested
words.
in industry, film industry?
Advice
Or last
Like,
words, anything.
I mean, I don't know if I have any last words, but I can give like a little bit of
Yeah.
advice.
Okay.
Somebody wants
I
to
would
do it.
say that like the only advice I could give is that this industry is savage, so don't expect success overnight. You got to put in the work. You gotta, and you also, it's not just about putting the physical work of like recording stuff, taping this, and making content or whatever you're doing. It's also like the work of networking, of knowing who to talk to, how to talk to them.
Yeah.
That's big. How to pitch them, how to come up to them, how to like create relationships. Because there's a lot of people that are going to be like, oh yeah, can you do this? Can you do that? Or there's a lot of people like, oh, can you put me on? Can you do that? Like, you can't come on aggressively to certain things. You have to finesse your way in there.
And
If you don't have,
there's
especially if
nothing
if you come from a world where you don't have any contacts, you don't have any connections, you're building everything from scratch. Just know it's a long walk, it's a long road, and just keep going. Just keep doing it.
Fuck,
Like
I know.
Exactly. And don't get like, people get discouraged, but like me myself included. But I have moments where like, damn, this is dope.
Yeah,
I'm doing this.
exactly.
I'm in another country. Like this is dope. And then there's times where it's like, damn, this sucks. Like I don't want to be here. And that's just the name of the game. That's just the nature of the beast. That's how it's gonna always be. Anything. So just keep figuring it out. Knowledge is very important. So keep figuring out how to get there. Like you were saying, you were asking me, how do the indie film get financing? Well, find it out. Like now we have the internet, we have YouTube, we have like I'm a YouTube mechanic, dog.
ChatGPT,
Like
you know what I'm saying?
like if something's wrong with my car, I just go on YouTube. How do I change the alternator? All right, cool, and I go get it done. So just find the knowledge, and then find how to apply it.
Yeah.
Find who to network with. Find companies to like help you out, or you know what I mean. Just just find the knowledge and then put in the work, and just understand that it might not happen tomorrow, but it might happen next week. It might happen next year.
As long as you're putting in the work.
Yeah, exactly.
Amen, brother.
Show
We
up
appreciate
and
it.
show out.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you.
Do the
So our slogan is "Shed the Sheep." So on 3, we're gonna look at the cameras and say "Shed the Sheep." 1, 2, 3.
Shed the sheep.
Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
It's Melanie.
Cat baby.
And Maya.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys
Hit
watching.
that button.
Please like and subscribe. Let's get us to 100,000. We appreciate you guys for watching. Peace. We're out.